Good to have you. This is episode 296. It's a special night because we've got an encore. Once upon a time, not too long ago, we had two separate interviews with two besties that work together at Shear Excellence that are just blowing up the metrics on it. Jen Foster and Hayley Bell. They're here tonight. Yes, they're Associate Jedi educators, but they're doing something that I think is pretty amazing, and it's kind of becoming the new norm. I call it that part-time is the new full-time, meaning that they're both enjoying very high full-time revenue, but on very, very, very part-time schedules. From Shear Excellence Salon Company, Rantoul, Illinois, Bridget Schuleter Rogers is also going to be on tonight. She is the matriarch of Shear Excellence, the salon owner, and of course, Summit's coach Amy Banks is behind this trio, this tremendous trio. How's that? Let me show you what they're up to that got my attention. So, under normal circumstances, when somebody's doubling their income, that's a big deal. So, Hayley doubled. Jen doubled, but here's what happened. In the same year that they doubled, the time went from full-time to part-time. So Hayley is doing 3 days a week. Jen's doing 2 days a week. And to me, that is becoming the new, I'm going to call it extraordinary normal. Now, on top of that, you can look at their metrics that they were at. Hayley was at a level 3 when I saw her last. She's at 5 now. Mid 20 something, average service ticket just this side of 100, just over 600 on an average day, pre-booking at 85, and her retail units are at 0.7. Jen, last time I saw Jen was at 4. Now she's at level 6, 27, doing an average service ticket of $121. And average service day just over 7.5, rebooking at 90, just this side of 1 unit. Now, again, what makes this, I think, a fascinating conversation is that they're both, I would consider what they're earning is in real, at a minimum 32-hour a week productivity or more, and they're both doing it in very, very, very part-time schedule. So I'm going to go and get them now and get them talking about what the heck they're doing. The way we're going to do this is this way. I'm going to bring them on full screen, Zoom, and then there they are. I'm going to unmute. Then you're going to make them feel welcome. Good to have you guys. Thanks for coming on. How are you?
Good.
I'm going to try to go full screen here in a second so that we can give you plenty of real estate. Give me a sec. Here it is. Great. Well, on my left, I should almost kind of use my cursor here. Bridget, you are the matriarch of the Shear Excellence. Hayley sitting next to you. Jen's sitting next to Hayley. Jen's hair is like, she's like fire, right? So I want to get you talking. I want to start with you, Bridget, because you're part of leading the team. What in the heck is going on with these two individuals sitting next to you, where both of them are almost doubling their income, pivoting from full-time to very part-time?
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely think that, back when you had them on the first time, that their W-2s were still very impressive. But I think the biggest thing is that I've seen in them is there's been a mind shift in them. And instead of being a stylist or provider first, they have shifted into being that educator role first. So I would say that their day is completely about their associate, not necessarily about their guests. But what happens when they're focusing on the education, making sure that they're providing their associate the best education possible in all aspects, every single minute of every single day is a learning opportunity. What they're doing is they're creating that guest experience and making it even more elevated than it was before, because everything they're doing is a training and a teaching moment. And the guest loves to see that, and they love to see the associate grow as well.
So what you said was big. It was really huge, and it made it less of a mystery to me that, first of all, both of them are working with associates in a way that really goes way beyond wherever they were the last time we talked. And as
Yes.
a result of that, the guest experience is now through the roofs, but because they've got sets of hands and minds, they in fact can double their income in less hours. So what you're saying is, if it wasn't for that part, this probably would not have happened.
Correct. And they're also, I mean, don't get me wrong, all the associates that they have trained are wonderful. But what's happening is we're seeing their now associates come out of the program a little bit more accelerated. So I think maybe their last two associates have level jumped their first 3 months, because what they're doing is they're acting just as they would act in that associate role when they're in their opportunity shift. So I know Jen and Hayley are going to talk about some of our tactics, but they treat it as, it's not we're coming in and we're just winging our book. You're coming in 30 minutes early to do this for this reason, and their associates are seeing that, and it's becoming like a training culture in their mind. So they're taking that to their opportunity shifts, which transfers to their full-time shifts when they become a level 1, and jumps them very quickly to 2, 3, 4, and all the way up the ladder. I mean, we've had to create a level 7 because of these ladies, and just the way that they're training. I have no doubt that we're going to have so many providers, climbing that ladder just probably even faster than they did, because they're aiding in that.
Wow. Now, that even had more packed in it. So what you're saying is the other phenomenon that's happening is, as both of them are building, we'll call it a lineage of graduates, right? They're training associates, and the associates kind of off ramp from being associates to opportunity days to new talents and levels. And you're saying, as a result of that, once the associates are graduating, you're seeing them fly through the level system at a faster speed than the two people sitting before me this evening. Yes?
Absolutely, yes. And to be honest with you, Michael, these two beautiful providers, inside and out, they're from this area. We have providers, and the associates that they're training are not from around here. We're in a small 13,000 people town. We've got people that drive from an hour and a half away to come work here with us to go through our associate program. And even those people are building up their opportunity shifts to be completely full and jumping through the levels as well.
Well, so it sounds like the overall Salon as a brand, as a company, has experienced phenomenal growth as well. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah. So we actually are in our 3rd location. We are only 6 years old. We've been Summit for 4 years? 3, 4 years. And since in 1 year, we've grown from 12 providers to we have 20 now.
In a township of, did you say 14,000 people?
13,000.
13,000. And talk in terms of sales, Bridget. How much did sales increase in the last year or so? It almost sounds like it damn near doubled.
Yeah, absolutely. So my goal is, as a professional, I retired from behind the chair this past year. And I've told the staff that my goal before I turn 30 is I want to do $1 million in a calendar year. And we're on track to do that, which is pretty awesome.
So if the rest of 2022 goes like the last couple of months, you're trending $1 million.
Correct.
Nice.
And with mainly level 1s and 2s right now, because we were so young, we have a few 3s, but for the most part, we've got, new fresh talent in here, other than Hayley and Jen, that are leading the way and helping those guys climb up the ladder of success.
Wow. Okay. So there's a whole piece here that even transcends, but these two are really the nitroglycerin that's being poured on the proverbial bonfire.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
They are
now
tremendous leaders.
I'm just compelled to say to my community that there's 3 people on tonight with us, and 2 of them are sisters. Go ahead and guess which ones. So, you two, your family of origins are there, but you both got into the business, and now you pivoted to being salon owner. You're no longer behind the chair, and Jen is pursuing as a hair Jedi. I love it. I love it. Well, Hayley, I want to give you a little bit of energy. So you've been listening to the conversation. The big question is, you darn near doubled your income, but you're working much less hours. In addition to what Bridget said, was there any other things that were coming up in you that you might want to share with the community that might give them some impetus to kind of do a little bit of what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So recently we just started taking our planners every day, and we plan our book backwards. So say our goal for the day is $1,700, and we have a day with our clients planned for $1,000, and that leaves $700 that we have to go find in our book. So we go into our planning column and we add in products and add-ons and anything else that we would recommend to our guests. And then we just go from there. And then at the end of doing that, I get with my associate and I go over that with her. And then we tackle the day doing that.
Wow. So, I mean, here's what was going on in my head as I'm listening to you, Hayley, that if the day starts at 1,000, you use that as kind of, right? But the end game is 1,700. Right? There's a $700 difference between how it begins and how you want it to end. And you and your associates plan on the front end of the day, going through each guest that's scheduled to come in. What is it that we can bring to the table, get the guests more involved, so that at the end of the day, we hit 17. Right? Am I with you so far?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Now,
so she would pull out her calculator and type in her $1,700 day, and she would start subtracting with all her add-ons until she got to 0.
Right. I see. So she works, call it reverse math or reverse engineering, so that she counts it down. Now, here's the big question. I think you said you're working 3 days a week, right, Hayley?
Yes.
So if you're working 3 days a week, and typically when you suit up for the day, you see 1,000, the goal, the end game is 1,700. You have 3 opportunities a week to hit the goal. What I'm curious about is how many times a week do you actually hit the goal where you're close to or you crush 1,700?
I would say definitely on Mondays, that's my long day. So I work a double shift, so it's easier to do it that day. And then my other days are a little shorter. And I would say probably 9 times out of 10.
You'll hit the other 2. Yes. So what I'm thinking is that 1,700, there's a $700 difference. When I do the math in my head, that increase of day is about 2/3 or 75%. So in essence, whatever you earned in a W-2 last year, 75% of that money came in because of what you just said. Yeah. That's how. So if people were just basically showing up every day, and what you see is what you get, and there's 1,000 on the books, and I did 1,000, they're going to end up with 1/3 of what you end up with. To me, that's massive. All of a sudden now, wow, 2/3 of her pay is coming from that. No wonder why she can level down her days and still grow like crazy. So all of a sudden, this is less mysterious. Thank you. That was awesome. That was worth the time. So Jen, as you're watching and listening to this, what else is coming up in you? Because you're down to 2 days now, right?
Yeah. So I would say that, like, on top of planning our book, guest experience is number 1 on my list. So When we are planning our book, we're obviously writing down things that we would recommend for our guests as far as treatments and home care. We're always recommending with integrity, but at the beginning of the day, when we do that, my associate and I, we will go ahead and pre-shop for our guests what we're going to recommend to them. So we will go grab their products off the shelf, pull them up, and then when they get up to the front desk, we'll just, go back over with them what products they are, why we're recommending them, and send them on their way with those products. So then that's kind of building a little bit more trust with our guests as well, because they're like, oh, wow, they're really prepared for this. They know exactly what my hair needs. They just touched my hair. I'm going to take this with. So that's not only a win for us, being able to sell that home care, but it's also a win for the guest who's taking it home, and then their color is lasting longer. Their hair feels better. They're, being able to achieve those looks at home. So then everyone is happy. Another thing that, we've been really focusing on, my associate and I, and as well as the other service providers in the salon and spa, are our verbiage that we use. So guests want to come in here and feel like they are getting like the ultimate experience, whether, you are working with an associate or whether you're a level 1 service provider. The verbiage that we use is really important. So we refer to all of our clients as guests instead of clients, because client just seems very not as personable as a guest is. We say treatment lounge instead of shampoo bowls. I'm going to go get your color formulated instead of I'm going to go mix your color up. So things like that just really make people feel really special. And I think that that's why also our pre-book percentage has gone up, not just with Hayley and I, but just within the salon in general. Really teaching our associates to use that verbiage, again, as well as all of the other service providers. And then like on our group Facebook page and our group Snapchat that we have with the salon, we're giving everybody's kind of giving feedback like, oh, wow, I really like how, you gave me that verbiage to put on my social media post. Instead of saying this, I said that, and someone came in and, it just starts at the top and it just trickles down the ladder. So it's really rewarding that way.
Right. Yeah. And it's almost like the word I use as I was listening to you is it's a signature experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that your team, the culture has kind of incubated and evolved over time. So now there's a natural rhythm of flow to it. And as the guests come in and they're on the receiving end of that signature experience, that's what empowers you to get the kind of results that you're getting. Bridget, it looks like you want to say something.
Oh, I have so much to say. No, everything, and they've done a good job of taking this and leading this too, but everything is very intentional. I will say that our planners are our best friends and we utilize them to the very fullest potential. And a lot of times when I'm having one-on-ones, if somebody's numbers weren't quite as great as the month before, we can say, hey, let's look at your planner. We can easily see where they missed a beat at. I mean, even kind of like Jennifer said, our rebook percentage is super high. So they even go as far as to pre-plan their rebook date. So that too helps them balance out their schedule, because how easy is it for us to say, hey, I want to see everybody in 8 weeks, where you can look at your book and say, okay, I need to see somebody 7 weeks and 8 weeks, so I don't have a super full week and a super empty week. So you have even amounts to fill up. So Jen and her associate will say, okay, I need to see Gloria in 7 weeks, and they'll go forward. Gloria came in on a Wednesday at 2:30, so you know that usually works for her. They'll write down the date of 7 weeks from now, Wednesday at 2:30, and the verbiage is, hey, I need to see you back in 7 weeks. Does Wednesday, December 7th at 2:30 work for you? Great. So it doesn't really like, oh, you want to set up for your next one, or you want to come in 8 weeks. They literally pre-plan everything from the products they use to the verbiage to the way they check the guest out.
Right. That, and we have a better way of controlling our paychecks that way. Everybody says, well, you're a hairdresser, you might not make that much money this week. Well, when I plan out my book and I plan out my rebooks, I know that I've got the same amount of guests this week as I had last week. I'm bringing home $1,500 this week or something like that,
Yes.
So just being very intentional, and it really does pay off,
Yeah, I mean, as I'm listening, I'm being kind of been tutored by you in the last few minutes, and that is you have taken what we call planning to a whole new level. Like it's very, very, very strategic, intentional. It's a very, 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 you put an enormous amount of focus on it so that, like you said, you're evening out that you're busy week after week. You don't have ups and downs, but I've not heard people tell me that they plan to the detail that you're planning. So kudos. What did your mobile fall off your mobile stand?
We're back.
You are back. Well, listen, I'm out of time, but here's a couple ideas I have. I'd love to debrief this with you and bring a version of this to my Instagram community, Michael Cole Millionaire Mindset on Instagram, because we're doing a lot more content creation on Reels. And I just think that we could bring, there's some things that you've said that I think that my community on Instagram would really be excited as well. So promise me you'll do that for me.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, listen, it's supper time. I want to get you home to your fams and things, but this has been just an extraordinary interview. Thanks for coming on, and I look forward to seeing you on Instagram.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to give it up for the three of you one more time. We'll see you later. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Whoa. Every time I do these interviews, it looks like I'm interviewing, and I am, but I'm also being tutored. I don't know how much tutoring and learning happened to you tonight, but whatever appreciation I had for planning, and I had a lot, it went up exponentially tonight, that these three have found a way to even take that to another level, to get them to places that, I mean, I really love what they said, that we're so much more intentional with our rebooking, so that we rebook in a way that we don't have one week is busy and the other week is slow. So they've kind of taken the ebbs and flows out so that it's busy all the time. It's amazing. I think we could develop a planning program just around their platform and what they're doing. The other thing I heard is that it was always interesting to me that the associates that are being educated by these folks that you see behind me, when they graduate and they're put in levels, they're getting through the levels. They're level jumping exponentially faster. And so you have a salon that's in a township of what did Bridget say, 13,000. Going to do $1 million this year. I believe Jen is trending to do $100,000 this year in 2 days a week, by the way. So tonight was just nothing short of amazing. So what I want to do in the last minute is just acknowledge that, give it up for them one more time. For those of you that are watching, you're watching on my Facebook page, Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist. However, I have a Instagram page, Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist. Go there and start hanging out with me. Hang out on Linktree. Hang from the limbs of my Linktree in my bio, because there's calculators that now people are using to set goals for themselves, whether it's income goals, savings goals, debt reduction goals, and it's all compliments of Summit L'Oreal. The other thing that's happening, you heard me talk about it tonight, is I'm really using reels. I just actually put a 1-minute reel of over the top on eliminating what we call them friendly discounts and freebies, and charging what you're worth. And I'll have the three of them on that platform as well. So would like to invite you to take advantage of that. It's an online Summit Salon course. It's called Summit Salon 365. It is really where our video courses are. It's a subscription site. I have 3 courses on that site now, and they're extraordinary. So for a nominal annual fee, you can get up there and add that to your training. So check that out. Also, our coaching staff now is, I think, 110, 115 coaches. So if you haven't been on the receiving end of our online coaching, schedule a complimentary virtual consultation, and we'll show you what that's about. And last but not least, we always like to give it up and thank and express gratitude to L'Oreal. Summit is an exclusive business partner of L'Oreal. There's L'Oreal's brands: Biolage, Pulpride, Kerastase, Pureology, L'Oreal Professional, Redken, Matrix, Shear, and Mazzani. And support those brands to the degree that you support them, to the degree you educate your guests on the brands, and your guests are on the brands. Summit, L'Oreal are able to bring you content like this in ways that help you. So thank you, L'Oreal. We're going to give it up for those guys. Give it up for Summit Salon Business Center. I'm going to let you get on with your evening. It was just a great interview. And we will see you on Monday. We will pick up where we left off. Like I said, hang out with me on my Instagram page. I'm doing Instagram Lives daily over there now. So have a good one.